Darkest greetings. So, as I promised yesterday, here's the second half of this two-part video. So, I have here the black candle, and I've kind of put a little bit of the powders that I mentioned yesterday, and so I'm going to take a dropper here, and I'm just gonna really quick here. The inside here has the symbol of Saturn, and I've also took my knife and dug into the four corners this way. The oils and stuff kind of well on the four sides, and it doesn't interfere with the burning of the wick. So I'm going to add I'm adding 13 drops of each oil, Crossing, Damnation, Devil's Trap, Saturn, Black Arts. And then I'll be adding some again to the cow's tongue here in a bit. So and the reason I'm using a dropper is because it's just easier to keep count. And it makes it less messy. And you can find eyedroppers at any, like CVS or Walgreens, or even in the Walmarts if you go down in the pharmacy aisle and stuff. If not, you can always ask somebody and they will have them. And of course I got my Santisima Muerte right next to me. And she's watching everything that I'm doing. And she's getting herself prepared for the work. So I added a bit of gopher dust, sulfur, poppy, slippery elms, and a bit of alum, and some dark arts powder. And then, like I said, 13 drops of each oil. 13 is associated with Santisima Muerte. So now I'm going to counterclockwise it. This mixes the herbs, the powders, and the oils, and allows it to go down into, I don't think you can actually see it on here, but maybe you can right here. You see that? That's where I stuck the knife and made wells. There's 2, 3, 4. And I learned that when you do that, it just kind of makes it a lot easier when you're burning, when you're lighting. Everything's not pooling onto the wick and not interfering with how the stuff is going to burn. So I'm going to take the candle, I'm going to put it over there. So now the cow's tongue. So I'm going to put that over there. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead. I actually have like this little scalpel type thingy that I use, and you just want to kind of, you don't want to cut too far up and you don't want to cut too far down. So you kind of want to have the meaty part. You want to probably cut from about there to there. And you just kind of want to just kind of cut into it. And you're probably going to have to almost surgically like get into it really, really good. I'm actually going a little further down on the tongue than I suggested, just simply because you kind of get close to the tip of the tongue, and you know, you get a good effect all the way. And this part right here would be close enough to the back end of the throat, or going down into the throat, which leads into the throat, esophagus, stomach, all that good stuff. So once you've kind of cut into it pretty good, and this is a damn sharp knife too, so this is kind of making this work pretty quick. So you kind of want to have something like that. As you can see, I kind of cut down pretty good. So now I'm going to put gloves on, simply because, again, like I said, this one mixture here has the copper sulfate in it. And since I'm also going to be messing with dog poop, I don't feel like getting it on everything else. So I've got here some gloves that I picked up at Walmart. No biggie. So now that I've got this open, I'm going to take a little bit of the broken glass here. Actually, there's even tiny shards in here. And I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit on here. Some of these shards are pretty big, some of them are not. You don't have to fill it all the way, and I'll just keep these shards for other types of works. And you can also do this with like heart. If you actually get like cow's heart and cow's liver and kidneys and stuff, you can actually fix it just right, and you can add all this stuff to it. And now I'm going to add the crack. Into it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this mixture here, and I'm going to add it in here. I made a lot so I can use it for other works. And then I'm going to take a bit of the graveyard dirt. And I'm going to throw it in here. Now I'm going to take the name, the paper that's got the names on it, and I'm just going to lay it right in there. And I'm just going to grab the camera real quick here and show you what it looks like. You can kind of see how I just kind of laid all that in there like that. There we go. So now I'm going to just go ahead and smear a little bit of this crap on here, literally. And then of course I'm going to stick a couple of screws in here. Since they're all old and rotted and rusty and all of that. And then take a little more of this concoction that I made, and I'm going to sprinkle it on that. And I'm also going to check it and make sure that I don't have so much sticking out that I have a hard time sewing it up. Yeah, that's perfect. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and this time I'm just going to grab each of my oils, just a little bit of each oil, and I'm just going to run a line through. And I left this thing here in the temple overnight to thaw out, and when I walked in here this morning, it was kind of like, I could kind of start smelling it from the bag, since we're getting like into triple digits here shortly. So perfect time to be doing this. And of course I'm going to wind up having to wash all these bottles and stuff because of the gloves. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the ingredients that I'm using here, although I would think that's probably a good guideline for you guys. You can do your own research and figure out what other herbs work best for you with regards to this particular type of work and go from there. So now I'm going to cap up my stuff simply because I don't need that stuff spilling all over the place. Maybe another screw in here. Put through the paper. And some people don't sew it up. Some people will actually just like take pins and just pin the ton back up. I like to sew it up. This way it's sewn shut. And in a sense, it symbolizes that they are going, I'm sewing their mouths shut and keeping them from any further gossip. So I'm going to do away with these gloves. And I'm going to start here at the very end. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate or pretty. It just, you know, that it does the job that you want it to. And since all that stuff's in there, you just make sure you don't really touch it too much. But that's basically how you do it. Of course, it doesn't hurt to wash your hands and stuff afterwards. But that's pretty much the gist of the work. And then I will be invoking the black aspect of Santa Muerte. And we will be doing the rest of what needs to be done in regards to this. So, now that you guys more or less just get the gist of this, here, let me just kind of turn that a little bit so you can kind of see that and a cow's tongue is not an easy thing to sew, which is probably why everybody just pins it. But because I'm trying to make a statement, I'm actually going to go through the process of sewing it up. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now and finish this up. And I think I can go ahead and post a picture on my Instagram my Facebook, my website, and just, you know, so you guys can kind of see like the finished result. So you guys all have a great day. Darkest blessings.